Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Facebook Live around the world. I think Facebook has about 2 billion people that might possibly have access. We'll see how many check in. But we are at the gorgeous and extraordinary Bahia rooftop, right? With some very special people. So for those of you who don't know, we're in the middle of the boat show, which is probably the most important economic engine in Fort Lauderdale. So before I introduce this rock star, we're going to start over with a gentleman I just met recently a few weeks ago, Informa, that actually does the entire boat show and worldwide. I want to introduce Rick. So, Rick, what you guys are doing here, on and on, around the world, these large events, bringing people together, providing a platform for discussion, and we're going to get to this very special bird in a minute. So, this, in terms of the events that you do, first of all, how big is Informa? You guys are not just the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, which is our whale here, right? How big is the company?
Yeah, Informa is the third largest trade show organizer in the world.
In the world.
Yeah, so we specialize in lots of market verticals, including luxury, which is it's all about the boat shows, right?
So that particular market, at least in Lauderdale, is like 1.5 Super Bowls for our little community, right?
It's actually closer to 2. I think last year they produced about $875 million.
Double Super Bowls. Go for a little. Can we show the next slide, Rye? Because this is important where we are so people get an idea of this beautiful location. So we're literally at the epic center of our backyard. We're sitting here in the middle of the boat show, and I want to introduce Jimmy Tate. Go to the next slide, Rye, if you can. So these particular, in terms of our reference on the road to Riptide, 30,000 people are going to be here in a couple of weeks. And this epic piece of property, which is really like ground zero for, I'd like to introduce Jimmy Tate, who's the visionary and really an icon here in our community, who's the asset holder and kind of our leader in terms of getting people to understand the importance of how we can engage people and have these beautiful events with Rick and Informa. So what does this mean to you to be the host of something this big and this important?
Well, it's very important. My brother and I, Kenny, are firm believers in working with the community and doing something special. And we could have bought this asset and kept it as is, but we decided to be visionaries and work closely with the community and come up with something special. And I think we've done that. And within in that process, and not only developing a plan for the future, which will have resiliency and sustainability, as we discussed, which is so important. But we also created a venue which everyone's going to be able to come and enjoy. I mean, right now, you're on a rooftop venue. Look at this setting. You got the sunset to the west. You got the ocean to the east. Beautiful.
Not bad for November, this weather, right? Huh?
Not bad at all. Well, 2 of us are in short.
We're overdressed. Exactly. So Jimmy, the vision you have to bring the community together, because we talked to the Chamber yesterday and with Rick and his group about how we can bring the world and actually have this dialogue about how the vision and where are we going to be in 10 or 20 years as everyone is kind of in this mode about changing and transformational communities. You're helping leading the charge. Where do you see this going?
Well, again, I think my brother and I and our partners have tried to really be visionaries and plan and develop a community that's not just, here for today, but will be surviving 100 years from now. Part of our process was to figure out how do we do that, keep the architectural integrity sincere in Old Fort Lauderdale, and keep that same vision and energy and spirit, and not just create a monolithic massing of property. And so one of the things we've done is we put all of our parking below grade, which elevates the property, so we don't have these monolithic parking garages on top. We just have beautiful architecture, incredible greenways. We have a marina boardwalk that goes around the entire marina, so people can enjoy the boats and the vistas. We have a marina village going to be developed on the south portion of the property.
Extraordinary.
Where people can come and enjoy the restaurants and bars and eat outside and just enjoy the South Florida living that we've all come accustomed to. But if we're not careful and we don't plan for the future, we won't be able to enjoy it. So we think, my brother and I and our partners feel that we've done our part to develop something that will have sustainability and be a valuable asset in this community 100 years from now.
And in terms of the Tate family, which is extraordinary in terms of the legacy, your father, in terms of what you guys have done for the community and in education, which I don't think a lot of people know because he's very humble, this guy, but in terms of the reach and what he does for kids in schools, talk a little bit about your dad and the reach he's had with kids in schools.
So my brother, Kenny Tate, and our father, Stanley Tate, was the founder of the prepaid college program, which was a vision of his almost 30 years ago, 20 some odd years ago, 28 years ago, whereby he wanted every student in the state of Florida to be afforded an opportunity to go to college. So he helped write the legislation and then fund it to get it started until the state of Florida passed legislation for this bill. And now it currently has over 1.7 million families.
Are you getting this? 1.7 million families. So that family has now affected 1.7 million families with education, which is the critical driver of any community.
And my brother Kenny is on the board of trustees at Nova University. So, there's a lot of local influence as well.
So back to Riptide. So Nova and Guy Harvey, which these icons in terms of science and STEM careers, trying to get kids engaged. There's millions of jobs out there. But our kids right now, if you ask a lot of kids how many kids want to be an architect or a scientist, there's not a lot of hands that go up. So it's based on that type of Tate, that legacy, getting kids excited and getting the kids educated and getting kids careers, because there's millions of careers out there. So when you talk about what we've been discussing, Rick, with your magic sauce, with the boat show and bringing people together and scaling these enormous, extraordinary events, you want to leak a little bit about what we've been talking about potentially with what's going on in terms of bringing people together and an activation about resiliency and this kind of a platform, what's possible with your help? Because this wouldn't be happening, our discussions. We're not going to talk all about it, but Rick, tell them a little bit about what might be percolating here.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that, Patxi. I mean, right now, if you look at some of the issues that we face in this world right now, right? We've got rising sea level that's impacting coastlines all over the world, and more importantly, it's impacting this area. It's this 4-county area, more specifically, in a big way, and we've got to get ahead of that. And we can't, hope things work out because they won't. And I think that when you pull business, when you pull academia, trade show organizers, the finance community,
all together,
enthusiasts, all together.
Yeah.
And I've never seen so much of a desire to make a difference, to do the right thing, and we're happy to be part of that. And you all play a big role in that as well.
Great. Well, from all of us, celebration to see Jimmy and his family and the Bahia, the beautiful Bahia, and actually Lisa, your little magic sauce. She's working so hard to make this special. So on behalf of Entercom, with the Shark and the Beach and the Ticket and Light FM, all these stations, in a couple of weeks, what's going to happen on this beach right in front of Jimmy's property is every year going to be an extraordinary event, and what we're discussing is how to bring that even further in terms of the reach and the impact to the community. So, Jimmy, thank you so much, and Rick, who flew in to meet with us. You guys are rock stars. God bless, and please stay with us. We'll be live all night on Facebook Live. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Rick. Rock and roll. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Awesome. Stay with us.